Shalom, family. Sorry about that. I wanted to show you a video, but I'm having such a problem loading it. So, what I will do is I'm going to go over the story and I will leave the link in the description box and you can go out and view the video on your own. So, that's what I will do. So, recently, there was a black woman. Let me see if I can at least put the avatar up. Let me see if I can at least do that part. Let's see here. There was a black woman and she was stopped by the police and they wanted to pat her down. I still say I don't believe anyone should be outside of a car during a traffic stop, not unless it is no doubt that there is a problem. A lot of times they don't find no problems with black motorists, but they just got to do something to mess with you. And this turned into something that it should never have turned into. So let me share my screen. Okay, give me a one if you can see my screen. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's go over to at least pick. Okay. So this woman was stopping. Her daughter, unfortunately, was in the car with her, and the police wanted to do a search. Now, this cop that's behind her groped her, and you can actually see it on the video too. Okay. And this was during a pat down after she was pulled over for a traffic violation. Wow. So she did react, and towards the end of the video, you'll see her whole face and demeanor change when it happens. You can literally see it on her face. So the cops came up with every excuse you could possibly imagine. Now, just picture a black cop doing that to a white woman. The whole scenario would be completely different. But they expected her to be understanding about the whole thing. It was really very insulting. All right. It's hard to feel comfortable when you're pulled over by a police officer. For some, the first thought they have in mind is how much is this going to cost me? How much is this ticket going to cost me? And others will be victimized. So, according to health data, it reports that Black Americans are most likely to experience fatal police violence. Yes, because the most violent people on the streets of America are not Black or so called African American. The most violent group on the street are police officers in America. There's no way we can out violent them. There is no possible way. So these statistics and experience have accumulated in a variety of socio-political movements. While some of these nonprofits have marred the controversy, many studies indicate that Black Americans are disproportionately on the receiving end of violence and fatal encounters with the police in the United States. These statistics and experiences have become part of a conversation and a larger push for American police reform. Don't believe the hype, y'all. The police departments in America absolutely cannot be reformed. You can't reform this at all. As social media has shined a new light on the consistency of police misconduct, These recorded incidents showcase how common police abuse of power can be. So the police pulled over a black woman and patted her down. Instead of waiting for a female officer, he ends up sexually assaulting her instead. In the video, you will see the footage shows a police officer in training. This is the excuse they gave. Oh, he didn't know any better. He was training. That's BS. Even a man that is not in police uniform knows what groping a woman is. So don't even accept that. So Tyler Gelnet was performing a body search, okay, on Callie Coates. And this was after she was pulled over. Galnet pulled over Coates while under the supervision of another police officer. So he was being trained, who was wearing a body camera and overseeing the traffic stop. The video, Coates appears to be cooperative and even pleasant with officers. However, her demeanor instantly changed when Gelnet performs a body search of her. In the clip, he can be seen groping the woman with the palms of his hand, faced frontward against her body. A male officers, depending on the local laws, do generally have the right to search female suspects. Well, what is she a suspect for? You just pulled her over in a traffic stop. I still don't see why she had to get out of the car for all of this. I guess they were doing this for their little trainee, I guess. So, if there's no female officer present, however, according to the video, Louisville police training indicates that body searches should be done by brushing with the back of their hands, not their palms. The officer recording the incident immediately stopped Gelnet search and tells him to step away from Coates. He begins to apologize to the woman and explain uh, to both her and her boyfriend that Gelnet is a trainee and that he didn't follow proper protocol. That's just bullshit. You still know when you're groping a person. Come on now. He had to know that was inappropriate. I'm not buying, oh, he just needs to be trained. I'm not buying it. He also assures Coate that the entire encounter is being recorded. She would go on to sue the Louisville Police Department, which would pay her $50,000 for the groping incident. That was not enough money. That was not a look. She was groped out in broad daylight in public. So anybody could have been driving their car down that road and they would have saw that entire incident all out in plain view. So Gelnet stayed on as the officer with the department. That is until November of 2020 when he was charged with official misconduct and drug trafficking for allegedly seizing marijuana while handling cases, but then giving it to a woman he was in a relationship. So he was getting marijuana off of individual people and giving it to his girlfriend. Now, wait a minute. Him groping her was not grounds for termination, but him drug trafficking and giving the drugs that he was getting through police stops to his girlfriend, that was grounds for termination. These people are sick. They are sick. And it's the reason why the world is so screwed up today, because look at who we got in charge. So, anything, this is my heart goes out to this woman. She didn't deserve this. And believe me, I've seen other instances. I remember I watched a video, this must have been like 2019, where this Latino woman called the police. Something was going on and she called the cops. She was in her apartment. The cop comes in. I don't know why she let this cop in her apartment, but she did. And she's talking to him. He's moving in closer and closer to her. And then he proceeds to start yanking on his clothes like he was about to rape her. And then the body cam video switched off, and you could hear her screaming just before the body cam video. So he went over there on a police call, saw she was in that apartment by herself, and proceeded to rape her. And then I seen another video a couple of years back where a cop raped a woman in the back of a police car. So, no, this is more common than uncommon. I'm glad she was not physically harmed any further, because it could have been a lot worse if other people were not around. But it's just amazing. They wouldn't get rid of him for groping this woman on camera, but over some drug related stuff, oh, now something's wrong with him and they need to get rid of him. I mean, this is a joke. When he did that, that should have been grounds for termination. Maybe police work is not for you. So, and look at what he was doing when they finally had enough to get rid of him. He was trafficking drugs. So he pled guilty to the charges, and in February of 2021, the same officer that groped her paid a $500 fine and was hit with 2 years of conditional discharge from the police department. So police officers said Gelnet knowingly took marijuana obtained in traffic stops investigation between December 1st, 2019 and April 30th, 2020, and handed it over to a woman he was romantically involved in. Her name was redacted. The Fraternal Order of Police has long been criticized for protecting officers who, we know they do people wrong in this country every single day. But according to the Fraternal Order of Police, every single one of these officers deserve to be defended and protected, according to them. In this instance, however, there is a clear cut case of a cop calling out a peer for inappropriate behavior, for which commenters commented the supervising officer. So conditional. Wow. Wow. But I'm glad she sued and got something out of it. It should never have happened. And it just go to show you, when these officers clearly do things wrong, they're very reluctant to do anything to shut them down. They won't do anything, you know? A conditional discharge. Yeah, talk about protecting their own, still trying to protect the dude. How you doing, Lions Den? Yeah. So just look in the description box, y'all, and you will see the video, and it's out on the Daily Dot, and you can go ahead and view that on your own. I wish I could have showed it to you, but everything was acting up so badly over here on my end. I could not get it up and running, but you can still see it. So, everybody, thank you so much for being here. I deeply appreciate all of our time together, and we will be doing this again soon. Shalom, family.